Now let's talk about creating texture maps and normal maps. So when we're creating models, we are using polypaint and we're sculpting on our model. And we're actually doing that on the polygons themselves. And so to get that geometry out, we would want to calculate maps to be able to show that. So a UV-based texture map, and then also a normal map to show the sculpted detail. The first map is the texture map. And for both of these, we're going to need to have UVs. So to create UVs, we're going to go to our main subtool. And let's go down to the lower level. So we'll come all the way down to the lowest level. And then let's use a UV master. Now, there are some UV options here. So we can come in and go to create, and there are ways to create some automatic UV tiles, but the UV master is actually going to create a really nice UV set for us very, very quickly. So we're going to use that. Let's go to UV master. Now, I don't need it to be symmetrical. And if you want to keep the polygroups, so if you have it separated into polygroups and you want your islands to be separated based on those polygroups, you can do that. Here's our polygroup, so I don't think we need to do that. So let's go ahead and just do our UV master with the default. So we'll say unwrap. Now to see what our UV layout looks like, we can come down to UV map. Texture map. Go to create, and then let's just do a new from UV map, and that'll show you just kind of pelted that out. Now right now you can see that we're getting a seam up at the front. And so what we can do is come in and use our control painting to fix that. So let's go in and work on a clone for this. And then I'm going to go in and enable control painting, and I want to protect a particular area. I want to protect the front so we don't get those seams in the front. So this is just saying, okay, we don't want any seams in this red area. Let's also kind of break down the front of the face. So something like that. Let's go ahead and unwrap this. And then we'll check again. Well, it looks like we're still getting a seam there. So let's try to attract the seams to the back. So I'm going to come in and attract a seam down the back. Again, I'll go in and protect kind of this area on the side. All right, let's go ahead and unwrap. And then again, we'll check that. So that looks a lot better. Now let's go ahead and copy our UVs. So copy UVs, and then we need to jump back to our tool and paste the UVs in. So that just helps us protect the original tool. So go ahead and paste UVs. And now let's jump back up to our higher level. So back up to level 6. Now we're going to come down to texture map, and we're going to create new from polypaint. So that'll use those UVs, the new UVs that we created, and it's going to create a map from that. So here's our texture map. Now to create a normal map to get that sculpted detail, for that we want to be on the lower level. For the polypaint, we want to be on the upper level. For normal map, lower level. We'll come down to normal map. We'll leave all those options as they are. And we'll go ahead and say create normal map. So now we have our extraction finished, and you can see this is the normal map that will be applied to this particular piece of geometry. All right, so next, let's take a look at how we can get this geometry over into another application with the texture map and the normal map intact. So we'll take a look at that next.